The McMahons, the Harts, even the Wyatts. Family is huge in the WWE, and while much has been made about fathers, sons, daughters, and brothers, there are several superstars that are actually cousins in real life. For those of you who love ad-free viewing and free things, we're excited to announce the Premium Network. The Premium gets you early access to videos from The Sportster, CBR, The Gamer, and many other great channels. Literally thousands of videos in one place with ad-free browsing. How sweet is that? Sign up for free at The Premium by clicking the link to start binge-watching videos from your favorite channels. See some of the crazy family connections made between former WWE champions, Hall of Fame inductees, and wrestling legends. Before you watch, body slam the subscribe button. You'll join our notification squad and be the first to know of brandy new content. Nia Jax and The Rock. The Rock is known for his famous wrestling family. This includes his father Rocky Johnson, grandfather Peter Maivia, and countless cousins like the Usos. While The Rock has been associated with family members like Roman Reigns on air, he also has another cousin on the current WWE roster, Nia Jax. The powerhouse female wrestler is cousins with The Rock. They have posted pictures together on Instagram, and you can see similarities in their looks and physique. While The Rock is currently ruling Hollywood, Jax is dominating the women's division on Monday Night Raw. Their bonds as cousins have not been revealed on WWE, but it would make a great storyline for some type of mixed tag match in the future. The first step to this potential dream match is transitioning Jax from an evil heel to a face. Bryan Lee and The Undertaker. On screen, The Undertaker is known for his family relationship and drama with his brother Kane. This drama has unfolded on air for years, but the two superstars are not actually brothers. The Undertaker did have some family blood in the WWE locker room, as he is cousins with former WWE superstar Bryan Lee. Bryan Lee is better known to WWE fans as Chains, but before becoming a part of the biker gang, the dead man's cousin earned his WWE contract for looking similar to The Undertaker. Lee played the imposter Undertaker for their long feud during the summer of '94. It culminated in an Undertaker vs. Undertaker match at SummerSlam that year. The Undertaker was dominant over his cousin and ended the storyline with that match. Tazz and Chris Chetti. Tazz has had a great wrestling career both in and out of the ring. During his time in ECW, Tazz was known as the Human Suplex Machine, and he used those skills to open the House of Hardcore Pro Wrestling School. One of Tazz's earliest students was a wrestler by the name of Chris Chetti. Chetti got an easy acceptance into the school because he was actually cousins with Tazz. Chetti would go on to wrestle in ECW for numerous years. He was in a successful tag team duo with the wrestler Nova and eventually went on to singles competition where he won the ECW FTW Heavyweight Championship. Chetti never received the same acclaim or career as his cousin Tazz, but he can thank him for the long run that he had in ECW. Shawn Michaels and Matt Bentley. Shawn Michaels has spent years training superstars at a wrestling school in Texas. He was one of Daniel Bryan's earliest trainers, and their time together was even brought up for an on-air storyline. Another student under Michaels' wing was his cousin Matt Bentley. Bentley got to wrestle in some WWE dark matches thanks to his connection with Michaels, but spent a large part of his earlier career wrestling in Japan. Wrestling fans may best know Bentley for his time in TNA. While Shawn Michaels was having epic encounters with superstars like The Undertaker, Bentley was making his own history by winning the first ever Ultimate X match. Bentley would wrestle in TNA for several years and eventually returned to the WWE as a jobber. The two cousins never squared off in the ring for an official match. Bill Alfonso and David Canal. Bill Alfonso spent years in the WWE as a referee before he joined ECW and transitioned into the Maniac manager known for leading superstars like Rob Van Dam. While Alfonso's crazy antics were making headlines on ECW, his cousin was making waves of his own over in WCW. David Canal wrestled all over the world, but he may be best known as the Cuban assassin Fidel Sierra in WCW. Sierra was a huge supporter of Cuba and often clashed with all-American WCW wrestlers like Hacksaw Jim Duggan. He later went on to be a part of several different tag teams, including the Cuban Connection. Canal and Alfonso may be cousins, but they never got a chance to be on the same team. They were always in different wrestling companies at different times. Jerry Lawler and the Honky Tonk Man. Jerry the King Lawler is a loudmouth wrestler from the South that spent many years in the WWE. The Honky Tonk Man is a loudmouth wrestler from the South that spent many years in the WWE. They are not a ripoff of each other, but merely showcasing their family connections. The former Intercontinental Champion Honky Tonk Man is cousins with Jerry Lawler, and both men have talked about their family bond through the years. It's easy to see the similarities between the two, but both big egos have obviously clashed in the past. Honky Tonk Man has often used shoot interviews to talk trash on his cousin. Whether it's jealousy or anger, don't expect any happy family reunions anytime soon. Maybe a special episode of The King's Court can help the two settle their differences. Billy Kidman and Mikey Batts. Billy Kidman had quite a rise in pro wrestling. The smaller wrestler rose through the ranks of WCW and eventually used his skills to take on the likes of Hulk Hogan and Rey Mysterio. After winning multiple championships like the Cruiserweight title, he transitioned to the WWE for a successful singles and tag team career. Kidman now works backstage for the company as a producer and road agent. The same success cannot be said for his cousin, Mikey Batts. Batts spent years trying to break into the business and even earned a developmental contract with the WWE. That only led to a single televised match on Velocity. Batts is now a referee for various independent promotions around the country. Despite his backstage pull, Kidman hasn't done any favors for his cousin. Horace Hogan and Mike Awesome. While Hulk Hogan became the top superstar in WCW, he got a lot of power along with the fame. Hogan not only had creative control of his career, but he used his backstage pull to help hire family members. Hogan hired his nephew, Horace Hogan, to become the newest member of the NWO. Horace was not only related to Hulk Hogan, but he was related to another superstar by the name of Mike Awesome. Mike Awesome is Horace's cousin and made a name for himself for his hardcore reputation in ECW. Awesome eventually jumped ship and joined WCW with his cousin, but he did not achieve the same success that he did in ECW. The two cousins had respectable careers, but never even came close to the success of Hulk Hogan. It's time to tag in your partner, take a quick breather, and see if you're ready for a trivia challenge. Stay tuned until the end of the video to see if you answered correctly. All of these cousins are real-life blood, but what pair of violent cousins were known for carrying giant scales to the ring and feuded over the Hardcore Championship? Natalya and Teddy Hart. WWE SmackDown superstar Natalya is part of wrestling royalty. Many fans know that her father is Jim the Anvil Neidhart, and other family members include Bret Hart and the British Bulldog. She is quite a great family, but there is one sour grape among the bunch, and that is her cousin Teddy Hart. Teddy had a promising WWE career and was even one of the youngest people to ever get assigned a developmental contract. Sadly, it all went downhill from there. Hart was released from the WWE for attitude problems, and he caused even more issues on the independent circuit. During one scary incident, Teddy Hart began performing moonsaults and high-risk moves that other wrestlers were not prepared for. As Natalya continues to reign supreme on SmackDown, Teddy has pretty much been blacklisted from several wrestling companies, including the WWE. Amazing Red and Rosita. TNA has seen many stars come and go in the X Division, and the Amazing Red was one of these stars. He spent years competing for the X Division Championship and ended up winning it on 3 different occasions. Each time, Amazing Red got to celebrate with family in the back, as former TNA superstar Rosita is actually his cousin. Amazing Red spent some time in the WWE development system and even wrestled CM Punk in a dark match before a televised taping. While Amazing Red has pretty much left wrestling behind him, Rosita lives on in the business. She now wrestles in NXT under her real name, Thea Trinidad. Paul Orndorff and Shane Douglas. While Paul Orndorff and Shane Douglas didn't spend much time together in the ring, the cousins are both currently part of the same class action lawsuit against the WWE. Paul Orndorff spent a majority of his career in the WWE. He was a part of the first WrestleMania and had a lengthy feud with Hulk Hogan for several months. Shane Douglas wrestled briefly in the WWE, but he spent a lot of time finding success in WCW. Both stars had pretty successful careers, and Orndorff is now a part of the WWE Hall of Fame. As Douglas continues his pursuit in the class action lawsuit, do not expect to see him inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame anytime soon. Brian Lee and the Bruise Brothers. For anyone who's heard of the United States Wrestling Association, you can't forget the tag team known as the Bruise Brothers. The brothers are real-life siblings that use their love for wrestling to carve out a nice career. After Brian Lee was released from his WWE contract, he reached out to the Bruise Brothers because they are actually his cousins. All 3 cousins spent several years wrestling together in the USWA. Lee would even team up with his cousin Don as they formed a new version of the Bruise Brothers. Lee even won multiple titles and helped find the same success that his cousins did. The Bruise Brothers are just another famous extension of Lee's ties to the wrestling world. Alberto Del Rio and Psicodelico Jr. Alberto Del Rio was born into wrestling royalty. His father is famed luchador Dos Caras, and his uncle is former WWE superstar Mil Mascaras. He also has a number of cousins in the wrestling business, including Psicodelico Jr. Psicodelico Jr. has wrestled all over the world and even had a brief stint with the WWE in 2009. He signed a developmental contract with the company but could not achieve the same success as his cousin. Alberto Del Rio made a huge impact after debuting in the WWE. He won multiple championships, was the winner at the 2009 Royal Rumble match, and has feuded with the likes of John Cena and Edge, among others. The two cousins actually teamed up for multiple matches in the WWE's former developmental territory known as FCW. Roddy Piper and Bret Hart. When listing the greatest WWE superstars of all time, there are often two superstars that get put on the list: Roddy Piper and Bret Hart. Each star had huge careers and helped influence many wrestlers today. Piper found success first as he appeared in multiple WrestleMania main events and feuded against superstars like Hulk Hogan and Mr. T. Hart started out on a successful tag team and transitioned into a major singles career where he won multiple championships. Not only did the two feud leading up to WrestleMania 8, but they are distant cousins. Piper claimed their family connection for years as both superstars hail from Canada. Hart confirmed this family connection in multiple interviews, and it only expands on the crazy success that the Hart family has had in the WWE. Whether they're close cousins or not, both deserve their rightful place in the WWE Hall of Fame. Roman Reigns and Yokozuna. Roman Reigns has used his family for years to help rise in the WWE. After winning the 2015 Royal Rumble, Reigns had his cousin, The Rock, run out to assist him and try to get the fans over. He's also teamed up with his cousin, The Usos, for multiple matches. With all of these family connections, many fans may not know that Reigns is also cousins with former WWE champion Yokozuna. The two Samoan cousins have a lot in common when it comes to their WWE careers. Both have won the Royal Rumble, main evented WrestleMania, and are former tag team champions. Now, only if Reigns had Mr. Fuji as his manager, then the two would have had even more in common. Thanks for watching. Now let's see if you know the fictional wrestling cousins as well as the real ones with our quiz answer. Hardcore Holly and Crash Holly were portrayed as cousins on screen, but had no relation in real life. They also considered former WWE diva Molly Holly one of their cousins as well. Well, there you have it. What pair of cousins were the most surprising? Are there any that we missed? Let us know in the comments section below. Don't forget to like this video, share it, and subscribe to the Sportster on YouTube so you can stay up to date with all of our awesome videos.